This is a video tutorial to explain our newest feature, the subdivision. Let's start by signing in right here. I'm going to use a test account, which is a Lending Pro account, the most common account we have here. First, let's start by going over to our left-hand panel and select the Projects tab. As you can see, I currently have no projects. But what I want to do is I want to add a subdivision as opposed to an ordinary single lot construction project. So I go right here to this button, select Add Project, as I normally would. Of course, I select residential, as all subdivisions are residential. This is something I cannot change once I say OK to it. That is the status or the project type. Let's say we have a 30-lot subdivision. I'm going to be greeted with this prompt that explains in more detail what the subdivision is, what it does, how it works, and the pricing associated with it. Once you've read through that thoroughly, go ahead and accept if you agree to the terms. And then let's give our subdivision a name here, Riverside Estates. Okay, and I'm going to select a trusted vendor or construction inspector. I'm going to input a builder. And all this other information is voluntary. You can add some files. I can include the the street name and number and unit number if it applies. But at a minimum, I'll need to put in city, state, and zip code. So now that I have all that information, I have the bare minimum of what I need to create a subdivision with 30 lots. Before I submit to create it, I can actually modify the names of each individual lot or project within the subdivision. By default, each name is the subdivision name, hyphen, and then sequentially lot 1, 2, 3, all the way up to lot 30. And we can go through each page and look at the lots this way, or if we want, we can actually increase the number of lots per page. Let's go ahead and do 50 so we can see all 30 on one page. And if for whatever reason this sequential format doesn't work for you, you can just go ahead and change it right here. And you can use a numeric name, you can use regular letters. If you want, you can input the street information, and so forth. Go through here. Once you've made all the changes you need to make, you can just say OK, and then submit to create it. And here we have it. You can see in my project dashboard all of the different lots or projects within this subdivision are now created and easily retrievable from this dashboard. Now, let's say I want to create an inspection for a certain amount of, let's change the order here, for a certain amount of projects within the subdivision, but not all. So I could just go in here, select, let's say, these 5 projects, and I need an inspection for these 5 projects, not for all of them, just these 5 lots within the subdivision. I just click here, request inspection, and from here you'll probably recognize this. This is the normal inspection request details page where I input a description of the inspection, what type it is. It defaults to residential because again this is a residential subdivision. And of course it knows who the trusted vendor is and it has the 5 projects I selected. Go ahead and drop files in here and submit. Let's go back to that page. Let's say for whatever reason I actually need to request an inspection for every project within the subdivision. So rather than having to select all of these boxes, and if you have more than 30, this is obviously could be a very time-consuming task. So you can actually create up to 999 lots within a subdivision. So this is when this shortcut really comes into play. I view by subdivision right here, and here you see it, the Riverside Estates subdivision that I created. I can either just select here and hit request inspection, or I can do it from within the details. So let's go into the details real quick because there's a few other things I want to show you. So if there's something about this information you need to change, you just go ahead and update it. You can add files, additional information, and so forth. Again, here's the request inspection. We'll come back to that. After a period of time, when there are a number of inspections affiliated with this subdivision, you can just click here to see that history. Later down the road, that can be really useful to quickly retrieve all that inspection historical information. Once the subdivision is complete, you can of course archive it. you can transfer ownership of it to another colleague of yours. Here, this is similar to the screen we just came from. I can quickly view an organized filtered list of all the project lots associated with the subdivision. Let's jump back into those details. And again, here's the modification tool we looked at earlier. So if you forgot to change something when you created the subdivision in the first place, you of course can make that change here. Let's update it. Looks like it was successful. All right, now it's time to request an inspection for each lot within the subdivision. I just do it directly from the subdivision details. It looks very similar to the normal inspection request form. So let's put February inspection. And you can put a message here if you have one. And of course, the system knows that we want the one subdivision that I selected here. It already defaults to it. And I can add files as well. And you just go ahead and submit. Upon doing so, the trusted vendor will receive a notification. And in that notification, they'll see that they are to inspect every project within this particular subdivision. You can see that it's been requested, has not yet been accepted. If you click in here, once it is accepted, the trusted vendor will of course input an inspection date and a submittal date. And if you have additional information you need to update, you can just do that here. If for whatever reason you need to cancel the inspection, you can do that here. And once it's complete, of course, you can archive it. Let's just, from here, you can jump right back to the subdivision details page. And there you have it. That's the subdivision feature. It's one of the most powerful features we've deployed to date. We hope that you find it useful. Please give us your feedback. We always welcome it. And let us know if you have any questions. Thanks again.